Sandy here. It's the busy time of the day. I live on a busy street. You're probably going to hear a lot of traffic going by. People come home from work and school and whatever. So you might hear a lot of traffic. I don't usually hear it. I don't usually notice it, but one of my previous videos, I thought, wow, that traffic is loud. So that's the traffic. If you've never watched my videos, I enjoy doing scrapbooking. I've been scrapbooking since my daughter was a baby for 19 years now. A few years ago, I was 40 when she was born, and I've always collected photographs and obituaries and little postcards, vacation stuff, and I've always saved all that stuff before scrapbooking ever crossed my mind. So I had all this stuff with like everybody else, and it took me 18 years to get, not 18 years, like 16 years to get it all caught up. All of the, I've kept up with her life. So we're on scrapbook number 18 or 19 of her life, and then I've got scrapbooks of our vacations, of my husband and my life together, just everything. I have close to 100 scrapbooks. But anyway, so when I got caught up with scrapbooking, I'm like, I need a new hobby. And I discovered scrapbooking. Or not scrapbooking. This is a scrapbook. It's a vintage scrapbook with colored pages. Well, sometimes they come with black pages. This one happens to be brown. But I discovered glue books. And you get old magazines, scrapbooking supplies, ads, stuff out of newspapers, anywhere. Old receipts, just anything. And I happen to love Victorian stuff. I had a lot of old Victorian magazines and some Victorian calendars, and so I've done several glue books of Victorian stuff. I usually do 8.5 by 11 pages, and then I know how to bind them together and make a book, that kind of like a little magazine. So this is one of my glue books that I've been working on. Not much lately, but because I've been busy with a lot of other things. It's Christmas time. So this is one of my glue books. So I work on that when I don't have any photos to scrapbook, which is right now. And also at that time, I finally had the time to get all of my supplies and everything extremely organized. I'm a pretty organized person, but it's hard to find time when you've got years and years of scrapbooking to catch up on. So I had time, and I started making tags and borders to decorate my pages. And I like to have a lot on hand, things to choose from. And I've got my everyday tags and borders, and then I make them for holidays and birthdays and Christmas and everything. And I keep all of my stuff pretty organized. So there's my glue book, and this is one of my borders I've made. I hope, you know, in the page protectors it's kind of hard to see. Most people do 12 by 12 pages. I've never done 12 by 12 pages. I started with this size, and I have a lot of ongoing sections in my scrapbooks. I'm going to stick with this size for life. So this is one of my borders I made, and you know, things accumulate. All of these embellishments and stickers and scraps. So I use all that stuff, and I like to have them kind of cluttered. That's my style. You would do your own style. So this is this border, and you know, I can take a lot of time playing with my making tags and borders, but when I make a page, I don't like to spend a lot of time on a page. And this one, I just chose some Thanksgiving scrapbook paper, and I happen to have some Thanksgiving photo mats, and I put the photos on the mats and put them on the page, and then added a border. Boom, instant page. That's how I like to scrapbook, and it's developed over years. I haven't always scrapbooked this way. And then this is not a tag, but it's something I got out of I don't know, off of packaging or a magazine. I don't know where. and I just glued it onto a piece of white paper and cut it out with a white edge, and I decorated the page. Another very simple page. This is one of my tags that I make. Just fill it up with junk. I call it junk 'em up, and I like to use up a lot of things and then keep my page just simple. This is from last Christmas. This is another one of my tags. So that's kind of become my style. Here's one of my borders. It's just all kinds of stuff. And this was I didn't do much with this border. It came like that, and I made it. I make mine 11 inches because I don't do the 8.5 by 11. You would probably make yours 12 inches. Here's another one of my tags I made, and a border. So you get the idea. That's my style. And I add buttons and different things. So there's my scrapbooking. And then sometimes I'd collect cereal boxes and all kinds of things, and I cut out tags. I call these raw tags. And so then I cover them with scrap paper, and then I have them to when I'm ready to make tags and borders. And then this is my everyday stuff. These are covered with scrap paper, and then I just choose one and decorate it and make tags. That's my obsession. So I got the glue books, the scrapbooking, the tags and borders, and I love spending a lot of time organizing my stuff. So that's what I do in my craft room. And recently, I've always had the 12 by 12 paper. I buy the pads, and I buy it to the store, Hobby Lobby and such. And I recently cut down all of my papers. This is my snow folder. I like to have my papers upright in a hanging folder, because then you can flip through like this and find it easier. That's how I like to do it. So then this was cut off the side. It's not the same sheet, of course, but so then I keep these in here. These are my working scraps. Well, these are like the largest scraps I have. And then also the Christmas paper. Here's my scraps. And then I don't know where these came from. Somebody gave them to me. But these are kind of like ready pages. And then the paper. And then these are like full-size sheets, and when I actually decide to use these, I will customize them down to a 12 by 12 sheet. This I might cut up. I don't know. I might cut out the words. I do have plenty of words. It came in a paper pad. This I might cut up for embellishments, so I didn't cut those up. Anyway, so that's how I store my Christmas paper. And I have a whole box of themed paper for birthdays and holidays and all that. So, my last two videos, I was working on making a bunch of borders and tags. And I'm still working on my Christmas stuff. So, and I had a small binder, and I had to move into this bigger binder, Winter, Snow, Christmas. Everything except for in the paper in the folder, and some stuff that I have in a big pocket for glue books, bigger things, goes in this book. And I have a winter snow section. These are 3 borders that I have made, and I just put a little speck of glue on the back and stick them in there, and then I can flip through and choose. I don't have very many snow borders. I don't do a lot of snow pages. And at one time I made a lot of these baseball card size tags, because they fit in baseball cards. And I like to, if I have big embellishments like this, I think these came from a catalog. And then I put them on white paper and cut around the edge. and they're good embellishments. And this is a tag I made a while back. These are things that I can work with snow. These are some tags. These are some more tags and some journal cards. We're still in the snow section. Let it snow, winter. This I would probably never use. We don't do snow sports, but it came from somewhere. And then I have some ready-made pages. A friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of ready-made pages years ago, and I've used most of them. So Christmas, I recently made 12 more of these borders, using up lots of scraps. I had see, I like to be able to just flip through here and have a wide selection when I do a page. This is one I just did. All of these I just did, and all of these. So I made 12 new borders, and then I have a lot of things like this. Sometimes I'll put a photo up here and a photo up here, and then I have some empty space I want to fill in between, so I have this kind of stuff in here to fill in that space. Then more tags and borders. I should probably make some embellishments too, but I've just got basically tags and borders. So I think I made 23. All of these two are new. I think I made 23 new tags, but I can just flip through here and find stuff. I think all of these I recently made, and this one, and all of these are recently made. So I can just flip through and find something to decorate my page, and then more of these baseball card size, and then I've got my section of, I take all my stickers off the pages, I cut them out, and then I just put a speck of glue on and glue them to pages so I can just see everything at a glance and flip through. And then I peel it, I can pull the paper out. When I was working on my tags and borders recently, I pulled all of these sheets out so I can get at them easily. And then, after I did the tags and borders, I went through and I condensed this all down, and I eliminated 9 full pages of this stuff, and 1 baseball card holder. But I actually had so many tags and borders and made pages for those. The book is actually fatter. But I've condensed this down. These, I had some scrapbook paper like this. This was a full sheet. This is just a scrap now, and I'm probably going to use that side of it. But I cut out these from that scrapbook paper. I prefer to have things cut out and ready to go. If I have to stop and cut something out, I'll probably move on to something else and use something else. So I got my book all organized. I got journal cards here. These are things that I can create more tags and borders with. So I got this all organized. Isn't this nice? Now these are bigger. These last few pages are bigger things that I've mostly printed from Pinterest. This is a large sticker that came on a page of stickers from Scrapbooking for Less. These are out of a magazine. I'll probably use these few pages on these things on my glue books. Then I've got a couple of pre-made scrapbook pages, and then I have one piece here that is a photo mat, and then I got some Christmas ribbon that I can use. So I got my book all organized, my tags and borders. I got a good supply of those on hand, and now I need to play with my scraps some more. I've got all of these scraps, and I will glue them onto scrapbooking paper like this, or the tags and borders, and have a lot of tag bases. And then I'm going to make a lot of, here's my tags I'm going to cover. And then I just cut a bunch of these. They are like 2 3/4 inches. There's really no rules how wide if you prefer a narrow one, that's fine. There's no rules how wide or narrow they need to be. But I've got these ready. I'm gonna cover these with some strips and have some border bases. And then when I make my borders, I'll probably actually end up covering most of the stuff anyway. But I kind of match up the patterns and make them look good together. So I'm going to play with that. That's my Christmas scraps. These are the strips off of when I cut down the 12 by 12 paper. That's across the top, 1 inch off the top. And then these were from a 12 by 12 sheet that you cut up and make borders with. Like I need more of that. So I'm going to make some tag and border bases. Then I've got this. I had my snow paper separated from the Christmas paper, but I'm going to kind of mix and match it and get it used up. I'm not going to use up all of this, but I'm going to put a dent in it. And then I've got more paper. Some of this is gift wrap. And I might cover some tags with this. I don't know. Probably will. Make some tag bases out of some of it. And I'll probably use a lot of it on my, I don't know why that's there. I'll probably use a lot of it on my glue book pages. Some of this, I recognize this pattern. Like over 35 years ago, I went to a thrift shop and they had these packages of folded paper. They were like this big. They're pretty large, with several designs in it, and they were like $1. And I bought 4 or 5 packages of it, and I've still got some scraps of it. So I think I'm ready to start playing. This could be a very boring video, or maybe not. I got this green piece of paper. I'm going to put that in with my green scraps. That's what I'm going to do with that. So, let's see. Is this big enough to make a tag? Yes, it is. So I'm going to get this tag base all. Now this is, I use cereal boxes and stuff, but I have a lot of paper ones too. And I don't care how thick or thin they are, because they'll be in page protectors and protected, so it doesn't matter to me anyway. So I'll glue that on there. One day at work, I'm the janitor, I found 2 full packages of legal size copy paper in the trash can. So I brought them home. And I cut them down to 8.5 by 11 so that I could use them. And then I ended up with these about 3-inch strips from the bottom. So I cut them down to tag size, you know, just so I can use them for something. So there's that, and I think I'm going to add some snow paper, a strip of snow. Right there. And then at a later date, I will decorate these. where'd it go? I actually have a stack of, well, they're here somewhere. I have a stack of tags, snow tags that I had previously made. Well, I'll find them. Okay, so I wonder if this is big enough. But if it's not, I'll just add a strip of something. This very old paper. And I've been storing my scraps, like my holiday scraps, with my holiday, in my holiday folder, but my holiday folder is getting so full, I might have to put them in a page protector, my scraps, and keep them in with the, just put them in a pocket and keep them in with the paper. The holiday paper. Alright, so I got this. It was a crooked old scrap, but not anymore. I just hate to waste anything at all. I know I'm a hoarder. But I'm extremely organized. Well, today I left work early. It's Friday. All of November, things have been kind of slow at work. Not bad really, but just kind of slow. And so I've been leaving work at 11 o'clock, which is about 5.5 hours of work for me, and coming home early. Today I came home and took a nap, 3.5 hours, and now I'm very refreshed, and I can play in my scrap room. And these will not go in that box with the other scrapbook or tag bases, because that box is kind of full. Maybe I'll put them in with the blanks ones, but I'll find a place for them. I'm not worried about that. So there's another tag base. Let's see. I just love this rosy paper. So well, there was roses on it, roses and poinsettias and stuff. I'm going to put this right there. So anyway, next week my daughter will be home from college for a month. A whole month! I'd sure love to have a whole month off of work. But I'm looking forward to having her home. And my husband, we've been married a little over 20 years, and when I met him, he was working second shift, and we managed to find time to date and get married and start a family. And so just when I got pregnant, he worked at a printing company for 25 years, so he's working second shift. And then, just when I got pregnant 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago, they switched him over to third shift. I thought, oh, that's just not going to work. But it worked out fine, because we had our evenings together. My dogs just came in here. Oh, I got to let them outside. Oh, hold on. Charlie! Okay. So, I'll get back to my story in a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so anyway, hope I'm not too out of breath from running up the stairs. So, he's worked at this printing company for 25 years. He was working second shift when I met him. Then when I got pregnant, he moved to third shift. And we had our evenings together, and he'd go to work at like 10 o'clock at night, and we saw plenty of each other. And that worked out, and he was on third shift for a long, long time. And then the company moved out of state, was sold and was moved out of state. So he he started working where I worked on first shift, but it was hard work, really, really hard. And he only lasted 4 weeks. And then he worked at as a janitor someplace for about a year, and that was second shift. And then one of his friends who he had worked with, happened to graduate high school with him, called him and said, "We need a pressman's helper." It's been almost 2 years ago, so he started working there. But it's 12-hour shifts, 6 to 6 overnight, but he did it. And so he's been working second shift and the overnight shift for the last couple of years. And now recently they asked him, "Would you like to work day shift?" Yeah. So now he's working 6 to 6. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I start work at 5:30. So now we're getting up together in the morning, getting dressed together, pretty much leaving together. We take our own cars, and it's a different lifestyle. And it's only a second day. So then about 5 o'clock at night, 5:30, I will go down in the kitchen and start making dinner. And when he comes in the door, I've got it ready for him. But wow, it's a big lifestyle change. But we'll get used to it. It's not a problem at all. I wonder, I bet this is too small to punch this into a circle. Yeah, it's way too small. So I've got this snowflake, so I'm gonna just cut it out, make a little embellishment. I don't like to waste anything. I'm crazy. So as long as he's home for dinner, that's okay. When he was working that janitorial job, I would get home at 2:20 and he would leave at 2:30. So we had 10 minutes together and we couldn't have dinner together. And then when he was working at the other job, we had time for dinner before he left for work. Okay. So I do try to make these coordinate. I don't just put any old thing on here, but I do mix and match a lot. Yep, I like that. And I'm mixing cardstock with paper, so it's not the same thickness. But once it's glued onto a page, decorating my scrapbook page, it doesn't matter a bit. Okay, so line this up. Oh, now I've done it. So when my daughter was home for Thanksgiving, after dinner, she says to me, "Mom, can I go to a friend's house?" Well, yeah, sure. And so I said, where and who, and it was a girl that she used to go to school with, high school with, and she went over to her house for a while, and you know, with her being mildly autistic, she has never, ever asked to go to a friend's house, and I think it's just awesome. She's got friends now. Her roommates are her best friends, and they're really good friends, the three of them. They got a double room so that the three of them can all be together. And yesterday was her birthday, her first birthday away from home, and they took her out for Chinese food and celebrated her birthday with her. And she's growing up. I like that. That's pretty. Yep, she's growing up. Gotta let go. Now this, you know, my tags, I always have three little scraps of paper hanging off the side just to give them interest, so that will be saved. Yes, I don't like to waste anything. These are too small for tags, unless I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I've got so much snow paper. And you know, you don't want to use all of your scraps because you might need a scrap for something, so I'm not going to use all of them, but I'm going to reduce them a lot. This was part of a greeting card, and it's got a little bit of a snow pattern on it, or a night sky, or whatever. You probably can't see very well on this white paper on a white background, but I can see it, and I just cut out my tag. Now, I'm not saving that scrap, no. I've got this. I think that'll look good right there. My brother just got back a little while ago. We take him shopping with us and stuff, but he decided he needed to go to Walmart and pick up a few things. So he took the bus, and he got a big tub of cat litter and a big bag of cat food and a bag of stuff, and he brought all that home on the bus. Okay, there's another little scrap for my edges. Just need something here, but it'll be fine. Let's see. So I gotta make sure I get this whole swan in there. And thankfully it's transparent enough for me to kind of see where this is ending up. This is gift wrap. Okay, let's see what we're gonna end up with. I'm going blind here. I got it a little bit crooked, oh well. I make my tags so cluttered up you don't notice the flaws. I don't. see, I'm going to save this little strip. That'll make a good little edge on something. And then, ooh, look at this duck. All this can go in the trash. It's an embellishment. I have to keep it. I have to stop in about 15 minutes and go start dinner. I was married to my first husband, who died for almost 18 years, and he always worked first shift. He also worked a second job a lot of times. But we always got up together, and sometimes we would ride to work together. Back when I used to take the bus home. And then after many years, when we moved, I said, I'm not taking the bus anymore. But we always got up together. That's a nice little embellishment. Little duck. Okay. Well, that's crooked, but you know what? It's artistic. I made it that way on purpose. You believe that? Okay, I'm going to make a few borders now. I think I cut these a little slightly short, but oh well. These match. Okay, and then I like better that. I don't know. I don't want to go too red or too green. I don't know. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. So, time to get gluing. And I spend hours and hours and days playing with my stuff, and just so it doesn't go to waste. Maybe that's not for you, but I enjoy it. And I am very frugal. Hate to waste anything. And now that I'm 60, I've got a few years to retire. We finally paid off our house. We have no credit card debt. We're doing okay, but I'm very frugal. I like to get a lot of bang for my buck. And then when I retire, I'm used to living on, not being too extravagant, and I will be able to make my money last, hopefully, my retirement money. So being frugal is a pretty good thing. And yes, I do splurge, but if I want something, I will splurge and get it. If I want it bad enough. But okay, there's a border base. Okay. This, I'm going to leave it as it is, kind of. I think I'll put that on this edge and find something. I like that. That'll do. my dogs back in the house. My brother, I'm pretty sure my brother closed the door when they came in. I have a latch lever on the back door, and the dogs let themselves in. I can't get convince them to close the door after they come in though. and you know, for years we had our living room. We do have our living room and kitchen, the dining room on the main floor, and we used our living room. And then so when the dogs come in, we heard it and we go close the door. But then over 10 years ago, we put an addition on our house. And we have a large family room over our garage now, so we live upstairs, and my craft room here is upstairs, so we don't hear them come in sometimes. I've got this. I need to make a border. I'm not going to do it right now, but a border to go horizontally instead of vertically, because I don't really care for it like that on the page. So I'm not going to do that. Let's see. That looks good together. So I put the first two pieces on the edges. I can see some white on the edge. I put the first two pieces on the edges and then overlap the middle piece so that it fits on my base. This does not seem to have here's the ornament hanging that way. Oh yeah, it does. Well, they're mostly this way. Okay. So it needs to go this direction. So this video is going to be about making Christmas tag and border bases, and then I'm going to play with my next Christmas glue book. And my brother recently got some photos, ordered some photos, and I do his scrapbooks for him. I used to not be very generous with my supplies. He would buy his own. He didn't have a lot of stickers or anything, but he would buy his own colored paper, and we'd work with that. But I've got so much stuff, I gladly share it with him now. Okay, candy cane. I'm going to trim this little white edge off of both sides. I don't care for that. I should have done this project before I made my tags and borders, but I didn't. Those, I liked how these look together, but they're going in two different directions. You know, should I worry about that? No, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, I like this better. The color is good. The color is good. Should I go with that? Yeah. Why not a green one? Why not? And should I better? Yeah. Okay. I guess I didn't really need to cut both of those white edges off because it's going to get slightly overlapped. Line it up with that white line. Keep that white line showing. It's covering up too many of my words. I'm going to tear this. I don't want to put it on the paper trimmer. It's hard with such... Boy, this is tearing pretty straight though. Boy, that's good. It's far from perfect, but... Okay. Because I got Merry Christmas showing right here, and I want that to show, but I guarantee you when I actually make a tag out of this, or a border, it's going to get covered up. Alright, I like that. I like that much better. I think one more border, and then I need to those two go good together. I need to go make dinner. There. Ooh, pink. That's nice. I don't think this glue stick's going to last till the end of this border. I got plenty though. These must come from the same paper pad because they go really good together. Oh, excuse my reach. That was my chair making that noise. Okay. I think I'll put the snowflake at the top because I will definitely cover it up at the bottom if that's where it's at. And this is my top. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Well, that's not good. They're a little bit short, and I left an edge at each. So this one's going to be a little bit short. But I won't care. Okay, it's time for me to go make dinner for my husband and for me. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you got some ideas. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.